To my brother Jay-Z, Team Rock, Adam Blackstone, Hell's Kitchen, the Most High.
Good evening, godless sodomites. Kneel before your God, Babylon! Making me the highest paid megalomaniacal boy king in all of Babylon!
You see, if you go and visit the very home of the Oscars, where they hold it each year, you can see a plaque on the wall that says the Babylonian Court. The camera shows you the stage, and you see an unmistakable Tower of Babel embedded into the design. Outside of the Kodak Theater, you have the gates to Ishtar, and you have Babylonian gods put on the outside of the gates. They have the exact elephants. They have the same exact gate of Ishtar. They have the same exact Babylonian gods over the top of the gates.
A lot of people come up here and they thank Jesus for this award. I want you to know that no one had less to do with this award than Jesus. He didn't help me a bit. So all I can say is, suck it, Jesus, this award is my God now.
I'm thankful to the Oscar gods.
The other names of the gentlemen are all gods as far as the category concerned.
When you get this little golden statue, you become a star.
To my brother Jay-Z, Team Rock.
Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, Rakak, Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Ruel, peace and salutations to the elect, and much respect to the brothers pushing his word in the four winds of the earth, and shalom to you few sincere sisters out there as well. This is Brother Ariel coming at you with another lesson. Okay, and that video is showing you that these so-called celebrities know that America is Babylon the Great. Okay, the elites know that America is Babylon the Great as well. Okay, and I just wanted to go through a couple of similarities between America and the wicked empires that America mirrors. And this is why America is called Babylon the Great, because it's a combination of all the wicked empires that came before it. Okay, so I can't pull it up because this device, this iPad that I'm on will not upload the video. I already tried it already, so I can't pull it up. So just bear with me. I'll try to do it as fast as I can. Just showing you, the similarities between America and these other wicked empires. Okay, so I didn't do the similarities of America and Rome. I mean, you guys can do that yourself, but I did ask, what was the cause of the downfall of the ancient Roman Empire. Okay, and when I read these things off, you'll see the similarities between America, which is in the midst of its downfall right now, and the ancient Roman Empire. Okay, it says the downfall of Rome was caused by a complex combination of internal and external factors, including barbarian invasions, okay, which you can pretty much, say is similar to the migrants coming over here, okay, barbarian invasions, severe economic problems like inflation and overspending. Okay, we're definitely in the midst of a inflation now, of food and certain goods, right? It's not hyperinflation yet, but there definitely inflation is going on, overspending. Okay, America is now in, $35 trillion in debt right now, $35 trillion. Okay, overspending, political instability, and corruption. Okay, which is going on right now. Military decay, right, which is going on right now. America is not the powerhouse it used to be when it comes to the military. This is why, that military draft will be coming soon. And the division of the empire, which we're seeing now, with the Republicans and the Democrats. This is why there is a government shutdown right now. Okay. Other contributing factors include plagues, disease, and the decline of traditional values. Okay, so that's one. Those are the causes of the Roman or the ancient Roman Empire. Okay, and let's go here to the next one. All right, which is Greece. Okay, and it says the main similarities between America and ancient Greece lie in the foundational democratic principles and the importance of public life and citizenship, and the influence of Greek architecture and language on American culture. Okay, and it says a democracy. The U.S. government is a democracy, a term and concept that originated in ancient Greece, where the people rule. Both systems are based on the idea of citizen participation, like in voting and things of that nature, in government, though the scope and structure differ significantly. Okay? It says citizenship. Both cultures place a high value on active, participating citizenry, although the definition of who is a citizen has been historically limited in both societies. Okay? Let's see here. I have more on that. Okay, the architecture. Okay, the U.S. has adopted Greek architectural styles, as you see right here on your right. Okay, with the pillars, and you'll see that today's the courts. Okay, you'll in the Supreme Courts, you'll see the pillars right in front of it. Okay, particularly in his government buildings, such as the use of classical columns like the Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian orders, and a focus of symmetry and proportion. Okay, the language, it says many English words have Greek roots, and American culture has been shaped by ancient Greek philosophy, theater, and scientific inquiry. Okay, sports. American sports share similarities with ancient Greek sporting traditions, including the inclusion of certain events like wrestling and boxing in the use of sports for festivals and training. Okay. Look here. All right, even the names of the week. Okay, Sunday is named after the sun, and Monday is named after the moon, and Tuesday originally named for the Greek god Ares, the god of war, or the Roman god Mars. Wednesday originally named for the Greek god Hermes, or the Roman god Mercury. Right? We just went through the similarities of Rome, Rome in America, and now Greek. And look at this. Friday originally named for the Greek goddess Aphrodite, or the Roman goddess Venus. Okay, Saturday originally named after the Greek god Cronus, or the Roman god Saturn. Okay, which pretty much goes into Satan, the father of Zeus. Right? Even the days of the week, for those of you that did not know that. All right, we're going to go into the similarities of America and Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? All right, now the similarities between America and Sodom and Gomorrah are widespread immorality. Okay, general perceptions of declining moral standards are a common theme in such comparisons. Acceptance of same-sex relationships. I mean, come on, we not seeing that, widespread here in America. Okay, the nationwide approval of same-sex marriage and general acceptance of the alphabet community are often cited by some religious critics as a primary similarity to the sexual sins of Sodom. Okay, materialism and pride, America's wealth, consumer culture, and perceived national arrogance or self-centered indulgence are sometimes equated with the pride, fullness of food, and abundance of idleness mentioned by Ezekiel. Okay, social injustice. Some interpretations of the biblical text focus heavily on the neglect of the poor and the marginalized. I mean, the poor are definitely neglected here in America. They just put, 1,500 homeless people in a concentration camp in Utah. A criticism that some social commentators also level against American society regarding economic inequalities. Okay, another similarity is the rejection of the Heavenly Father, a perceived cultural shift away from traditional religious values, and the suppression of the truth of the Heavenly Father is also noted. Okay, is that not happening here in Babylon the Great now? Okay. Let me see. It goes into materialism and economic power and global influence as well. Okay? Definitely. Hold on. I think that's, all right, here we go. So I did similarities between the United States and ancient Babylon. Okay? And it says being influential global powers with a focus on law, infrastructure, trade, and international relations. Both has also been described as having diverse multi-ethnic populations. Okay, America is nothing more than a big melting pot. On a more metaphorical level, some interpret Babylon as a symbol of a powerful, influential, and sometimes corrupt modern superpower, and therefore draw parallels based on economic might, cultural influence, and materialism. Okay, and they both deal with law and order, infrastructure and trade, of course, and international relations. Okay, because America imports more than I don't even think America exports anything anymore. Okay, maybe they might export like their Ford, some of their cars like the Ford and the Dodge. They may export some of those things, but they don't export a lot like they used to. America used to be thriving when it comes to export. A lot of factories here in America, okay? And now, as you see, a lot of these factories are closed. And, America really imports a lot of things from other nations now, okay? So those are some of the similarities. Let me see. These are more similarities with Babylon. Okay, it says, once again, a global influence. The United States, like ancient Babylon, has exerted significant global influence through its military and economic power. Okay, both have recognized as major economic powers with a focus on trade networks. Materialism, some critics suggest both societies have a culture that prioritizes material wealth, although the specific critiques differ. Okay, in religion, a biblical interpretation for some Christian observers, there are symbolic similarities between the global influence and perceived moral decline of the United States and the description of Babylon the Great in the book of Revelations. Okay, so yeah, the similarities are uncanny, man. They really are. And this is showing you that America is definitely Babylon the Great, because America has similarities when it comes to all of the wicked empires that came before it. This is why America is called Babylon the Great. Okay, America is spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah, spiritually ancient Babylon. It's the revived Roman Empire, spiritual Greece. Okay, you can look up the similarities between, America and ancient Persia. the similarities between America and ancient Mesopotamia as well. Okay, this is why America is called Babylon the Great, man. All right, so I'm just gonna read a couple of scriptures, and I'm gonna end it here. I'm not gonna, go too long. I just thought that was some good information to bring out for those of you that really don't have understanding as to why America is called Babylon the Great, man. Okay, so of course, Revelation, the 17th chapter, I'll probably just read 1 through 8, right? And it says, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Okay, and the great whore is talking about America. Anytime you see the great whore in the book of Revelations, is speaking of America, okay? And I went through this already. America sits on many waters, man. Okay, many great lakes, the 2 oceans, the Pacific and Atlantic, all right? And it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Okay, America's influence, on these other nations, all right? And so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, okay? So the 7 heads are what? NATO. The 10 horns are what? The European Union, the EU, okay? And of course, America is the whore that sits upon the beast, the full, complete beast, okay? And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Okay? And this is definitely speaking of America, man. If you can't see that, then that's on you. But for those of you that can receive it, trust me, you are blessed. Okay? And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of YAHAWASHI, and when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? Angel was mad at John, for marveling like that. And I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which have the 7 heads and the 10 horns. Okay, the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition, okay, destruction. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they beheld the beast that was and is not and yet is. Okay, and here, okay, so it speaks of the bottomless pit. Okay, the bottomless pit is Europe, okay? And Europe is called the bottomless pit because it's actually in Revelation, I think 20 and 4. It's called the bottomless pit. Yeah, the bottomless pit right here because it doesn't have any fertile soil. They can't grow any type of produce over there, because the soil over there is not fertile. That's why it's called the bottomless pit. Okay, Europe. So they import, pretty much all of their food over there in Europe. Okay, and it says here, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and the great chain in his hand, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. And this is talking about the Renaissance. Okay, the pretty much the reemergence the you know, these Edomites, man. Okay, this is why, you know, Job 9:24 says, you know, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. He changes the faces of the judges thereof. Okay, because they changed, you know, the complexion of the saints and of YAHAWASHI and of all the great figures, you know, in history that were so-called, you know, black men or men of color, if you will, into Edomites, man, and cast him and cast him in the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loose a little season. And these Edomites are ruling during their season that they've been loosed. Okay. Yeah, so, you know, during the Renaissance is, you know, when they've been loose for their little season, which is, you know, Renaissance meaning the rebirth. Okay, so from the mid-1300s, pretty much till now, you know, is that little season, and they about to go down soon. Okay, but, you know, when the scriptures speak of Babylon the Great, they speak of Babylon the Great being destroyed with fire. Okay. So it's speaking of America, man. All right. America will be destroyed with thermonuclear fire. All right. And these so-called celebrities know that America is indeed Babylon the Great. Okay. So I just wanted to bring out this, you know, this information. And, you know, I pray that this lesson was edifying. All right. And I want to say shalom to the next one.